How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is going to be Josiah, obviously your host and your guest. Obviously, welcome you first podcast. Super amazing. Right now in a unique scenario, I do want to say that I'm extremely grateful for what goes on. Only hear the blessings of today means a lot to me. Super grateful for everything that happens. Always motivated. I do want to say that I'm extremely grateful to have the idea of what we call educators and the idea of what we call professors, because it means a lot, because unfortunately without them we don't get too far. I do love the fact that we're always educated, we're always on top of our game, we always have standards, and that we always do our absolute best to maintain sovereignty no matter what happens. So I'm super grateful, and obviously maintaining structure and doing my absolute best to maintain sovereignty and do my absolute best to stay liberated is always my closure to just about anything. And I'm super grateful that I'm able to maintain myself and make my educators proud and do my absolute best to keep structure alive, because that is my responsibility, and that's just what we must do to be able to continue moving everything forward with momentum and honestly with goals and constant liberation. It is amazing that way to know that we're constantly developing, we're constantly advancing ourselves, and we're constantly doing our best to maintain our sovereignty and do our absolute best to keep structure alive. So even me, super happy that we have professors, that we have educators, and even me right now, I do want to respect that every single time, every single second, my community always looks out for me. They always look out for me in the best way that they can. They always watch my back. They always keep me in good standard. They know that I keep my balance alive, that I keep my standards high, that I keep my balance in the correct order. That way there's constant structure for what goes on. I'm super blessed to know that always we're going to be doing our constant best to keep everything moving forward, because that's just our responsibility, and we can't slow down because unfortunately there's just no time for it. So I'm super grateful that I have this time of day. Obviously I know that today was a promise to me, so I'm super happy that that promise was fulfilled, and I'm going to make this content to be able to deliver all these results. So I'm super grateful and fulfilled to be able to continue forward, and it gives me a lot of momentum and a lot of courage to be able to do something like this, because I'm super happy. Obviously in this unique scenario, do want to put this out there, always doing my absolute best, maintaining standard. Super grateful that I'm able to continue that. So obviously, when it comes to just different type of ideas, when it comes to different topics, when it comes to obviously different structures and aspects, I do want to say, how do you first feel about your professors and your educators? Do you believe that their value is shaping you towards monumental goals and monumental standards? Or do you feel that you're depreciating and that there's no value in what you're gaining? Now for me, I do want to say that it always is important to know that I'm always maintaining value, and I'm always scaling and increasing value, because unfortunately depreciating doesn't make a lot of sense, because every day that things go by, you see constant momentum, you see beauty, you see structure alive, you see the infrastructure constantly going, things constantly in order, people constantly keeping everything in balance, so that we are able to maintain a pretty normal, healthy, balanced life. So I'm super grateful that I'm able to put some effort in, because I believe that that's what they want at the end of the day, to know that their time wasn't wasted and that nothing's just degrading and depreciating the entire time. So I'm super grateful that I'm able to put this out there, and be super grateful to know that I'm super motivated always, because that's how I should be. I can't seem to have any time to be in a low state and not really doing anything, when it took a lot of energy to keep me alive and to keep me constantly in momentum. So I'm just super grateful that I'm able to keep this content alive and do my absolute best to put you first, because that is the goal, and that is obviously the prospect of it all. To see you succeed means everything to me, because it lets me know that my accomplishment and my job is obviously fulfilled, but I'm never fulfilled until I know that you're at the top of your goal and that you're at the pinnacle of it. Obviously, we have to see everything within its setting, the blessings, the beyond the setting, the blessings, and obviously the standards that we have, and the stance when it comes to worldviews. That's the goals that we always aim for. We're always aiming for prosperity. We're always aiming towards goal and gain, and obviously building capital to allow us some momentum. I want to say the tools of today are constantly shaping tomorrow. Whether you like your portfolio to be within the musical side of things, That's constantly building those tools that allow you to obviously reflect on yourself and allow you to build your results, is constantly leading to the future of tomorrow. It's constantly reflecting your tomorrow, and these tools today allow us so much momentum, so much capital to be able to set our standards, to give us creativity, give us knowledge and insight when we're not really too aware of it, and we're allowed to update ourselves constantly. So I'm super grateful that even this, I can consider this as an update. Obviously, new update. We just have too much tools accessible to us now to be able to do just about anything. So obviously there's no limitations anymore. Even now, I've been given the tools to survive and honestly allowed to thrive. Why would I not use the tools and make obviously, the people that provide, or the people that obviously want, the best of us all, to be able to, be proud of the effort that goes in. Obviously, I would love to be a reflection of that, because obviously I want to be the change that I want to see in the world, and I've been given the tools to allow me to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I'm super happy and super motivated, and obviously going to keep maintaining myself. I don't really like the idea of dramatical errors too much, because it just seems that that's not the course of action that was on the way of the journey to success. Even now, when I'm surrounded by this building, I do want to say that this building is aiming us towards success. And it seemed that this building allowed me to be able to have the ability to be able to acquire a degree that allows me to make a large advancement whenever it comes to career goals. And I'm super happy that obviously I have a lot of professors that are willing to look out for me and do their absolute best to maintain me in balance, to be able to obviously look out for somebody else when it comes to the education, the field that I'm choosing. Obviously, when I do get my, we can call it a degree, I'll be super happy, because honestly, I believe that college is very important. I believe college is a standard to be able to set for your curriculum, and allow yourself to advance always, because if you don't, unfortunately, you will be falling behind, and unfortunately, it's just not what needs to happen. Obviously, you can change that. Talking to your local, school office and seeing what type of options are available to you so that you're able to advance yourself means a lot. And they're honestly willing to sit down with you, talk about your prospects, your future, your goals, your gains, what you would love to see in this life, for you to prosper. So even me, just super grateful that I'm able to have this opportunity. Me personally, it builds me a lot of structure, a lot of character. I'm able to have a future solidified for me. School is always very important. So I'm very happy that I'm allowed this opportunity to be able to obviously pursue forward and do my absolute best to maintain my sovereignty, to be able to continue forward and do my absolute best to make my professors proud, and obviously my elders and everything else, because that means everything to me. And I would never want to let them down, because I'd be doing tomfoolery if I did so. And they did a lot to keep me in a healthy balance, so I can't really let them down, and there's just no time for it. So I'm just super happy that I'm able to, be able to do this and deliver these results, and obviously put some effort in. I think that's the least you could do if you are given the time to be able to do so. Obviously, the saying is, I would love to relay a positive message, you first podcast, because honestly, it means too much to me to be able to say something like this. Obviously, my dad, he gave me one of the greatest quotes possible. He said, "Son, the world is always moving." And to this day, I've never seen anything else. So I'm just super grateful that I'm constantly able to, allow myself some effort, constantly be the change that I want to see in the world. Maybe in some way it may reflect back positively, and I may change one of the greatest perspectives that needs to happen, which is the idea of clarity being astonished and transcendence. I believe that if you have the time to build value within your character, and obviously to be able to envision a greater you, I should believe that you should be able to transcend yourself consistently to the point where everybody has a new perspective, and we're changing avenues constantly to greater goals, greater futures, greater prosperity, futures that we couldn't even believe that were possible. Just the other day, I seen a self-driving car with nobody in the driver's seat, which concerned me a tiny bit, because even me, to get that type of legality involved, to be able to do something like that is very hard to do. So the fact that I seen that there was a self-driving car with nobody inside and it was perfectly driving itself and it had full automation, it had 360 cameras moving in it, I said, well, we are in the future. I said, yep, because I couldn't imagine this 200 years ago. I could not. So you mean to tell me a vehicle or a metal machine is doing its own thing without needing us operating it, and it has 360 cameras and it can brake and move and accelerate and slow down and speed up and then stop whenever it needs to? I said, all right, fine, we're in the future. So even me, I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up the next day and I seen a flying car inside the sky. It's just that fast. That's how fast we're moving. So it's best to put out effort like this to be able to see some type of results that maybe, I never know, maybe my opinion might reach somebody that's advancing a flying car, and they might go, I like the idea of you first. Let's put your safety first. Let's put your caution first. Let's put your standards and guidelines first, because that means just everything does. And honestly, it may change the entire pivot of humanity. So I'm just super grateful that I'm able to do this while I'm in a unique college scenario. Obviously, doing my absolute best, maintaining structure. Obviously, making my people proud whenever it comes to obviously a degree, but I'd be making my community even more proud. Obviously, having my degree and showing that it is possible to achieve educational standards will mean that inevitably there will be more of me, or there will be more people obviously putting, you first, and they'll continue reaching towards greater goals of themselves and allowing themselves to be able to get a higher degree. And that means everything to me, because I'm super grateful that I'm able to keep everything consistent, everything in a balanced motion. That way, I'm the change that I want to see in the world. So if I'm passing college and I'm getting my degree, inevitably there will be more people like me, and they'll be doing the same thing. So instead of people being a depreciating asset, the degree never depreciates. They're always able to keep achieving standards, keep advancing, and we keep humanity moving in a forward motion, because obviously that's just what must happen to keep advancement alive. And I believe that we are advancement. There's no way that we have lived this long and provided effort in the way that we did to be able to not believe in advancement. Because when I realized that I'm in my beautiful, unique setting where I have a lot of, we could say, technological advancement kind of around me, I kind of go, wow, man, it took a lot of advancement. Someone really wanted us to advance. It'd be a shame to just not do anything and sit down all day and then not really do anything. And especially to know that it takes a lot of time involved, a lot of willpower involved. I think, displaying some type of effort wouldn't hurt a tiny bit, because it just means a lot to get that done, especially with knowing that today was promised to us. The one thing that I do want to say, one of the most grateful things that I can possibly put out there, is that no matter what is going on in the world, whether it's the worst day that you may have thought you had, or whether it's obviously the greatest achievement that you could possibly have on display, all these things are never really, we can say, shamed or crucified. We can say that tomorrow is promised to us, which means that no matter what happened as the world was moving, we're still allowed grace to continue advancement. So no matter what goes on in my day, my time of day, no matter what goes on, I'd much rather keep advancing, because it seems like something believes in me when nobody else does. And when I see grace bestowed upon me, when I see blessings imposed upon me, when I see that I'm able to continue being alive, which this may display in some way, maybe I'm not too sure of it or aware of it, I believe that something has faith in me to be able to continue moving forward. So I just have to do that, and I just must do that, because it's just like there's no other option. And I didn't believe there's any other options. So obviously time's test is to continue moving forward, and I'm passing with flying colors, and I'm super grateful that I'm able to continue doing that, because it gives me a lot of motivation, and honestly it gives my peers motivation. I believe that we're carrying the will of what goes on sometimes within the advancement of the world. So obviously, let's do our absolute best to keep that within structure. Obviously, continuing our growth, continuing development, continuing building structure, obviously not believing in imposed limitations, because it didn't seem like anything believed we had limitations, because me continuing being alive means there was some type of aspect that we may have had that allowed us to continue moving forward. So even me, just super grateful that I'm blessed, and that I continue moving forward, and that honestly, I'm just proud to be alive. I'm proud to be alive. Something wanted me alive, whether I didn't notice it or whether I did. Something wanted me alive. So I'm super grateful that I'm able to have this opportunity to think about that and constantly reflect it, because I believe that you first should always be putting your prosperity first, your gratefulness first, your gratitude first, your glory first, your structure first, obviously your sovereignty first, and your liberation first. And appreciating all the grace that comes with those ideas and those topics means a lot, because those aspects never vanish from us, and they're constantly with us, and constantly allow us to evolutionize and move, and obviously proceed forward and move forward. So just super grateful, and it's just structured sovereignty, glory. It means too much to be able to overlook these things. Even now, I kind of realize that it takes a lot of energy to keep me within balance, and to constantly proceed, obviously, with the structure of what goes on, which is to always move forward. It takes a lot of energy for me to continue. So, or obviously it takes a lot of energy to provide me with the momentum to obviously keep advancing. And to waste that energy doesn't really make a lot of sense. It seems like sometimes, if you did think about the world and how it's always moving, there are fortunately people who really waste energy, and they don't really move with the proper accordance to realize that maybe you're not understanding that it takes a lot of energy to keep you alive. So you should probably be putting some effort in, so that you know that it's not a waste, and that we're not really moving in the direction that we don't need. So I'm just super grateful that we need to be alive and keep structure alive and be blessed, as always. Realizing how blessed we are is something that we just cannot overlook. When I realize I'm in college, I kind of understand that I'm really blessed. I am allowed educational advancement, so that I'm able to display that we do not lack knowledge, we reciprocate knowledge, and that we're constantly moving towards advancement of higher education, and obviously higher goals. So I'm just super blessed to know that I'm not wasting my educator's time or my professor's time, because they'd be ashamed that they thought about it that way. And I would not like that, because it kind of just shows that when they do show up and they do put the time in to give us the education, it'd be wise not to really take it for granted and overlook it, because it's just a shame to do so. And even me, I would never like to do something like that, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I like to keep advancement alive, keep greater goals alive, keep my balance alive, keep my structure alive, and to keep my gratitude alive, because that's just what needs to happen, so that I'm super blessed. Obviously, I'm just super blessed and constantly motivated. I'm just super happy that I was given the will to be alive, and super blessed that I'm able to continue moving forward. I've been allowed to move forward. I've been allowed the tools of success. Even now, the tools of success are constantly keeping me blessed and maintained and sovereign and alive and glorified, and constantly, I just, amen, right away, amen, right away, amen, right away, amen. It's just too beautiful to understand. Even me, I never take this for granted, not for 1 second. If I realize there's a way to put some effort in, I'm right away getting to that, because there's no exception. I just refuse to be one of the unfortunate people who are not understanding that it does take a lot of energy to keep us running. So I would never want to just overlook that, and putting some effort in really shows that you're getting back that energy in some way. The energy invested into me is somehow going back out, and constantly keeping everything running. So I like that idea, and I like that a lot, and that seems more structured to me, rather than spending a large majority of my, we say, lifespan depreciating my asset and not really doing anything, because it does show that a lot of the structure that we need to be able to keep ourselves running is constantly just vanishing into nowhere. So we don't really know what to do, but I do know what to do, is to put some effort in. Obviously, I'm in one of the greatest scenarios I could possibly be in, college, which is like right away off the bat happy to be known about by my community. and I'm super happy to be obviously aiming towards a degree. Blessed that I'm able to continue moving forward and constantly moving in a direction that just makes too much sense, because without a degree, I don't know where I'm going to be in this life. I like the idea of knowing my future is secure. I like the idea of knowing that my blessings are here to stay, because obviously when I get the degree, I don't think it grows legs and starts running away after spending like 18 months trying to acquire it. And obviously, putting some time in to get that. So, it'd be a shame if there was a new update, a new school update, and fortunately, your degree just grabbed legs. Your high school diploma, your degree grew legs, and then just started running off. And I'd be mainly concerned because I just don't believe in that time, and I don't believe that could ever happen. So let's appreciate what goes on. Let's appreciate, the time that it takes for success. Let's appreciate the moment-to-moment time that we have. Every day's moment-to-moment. I appreciate the grace that's surrounding me right now. I did not see that a keyboard or a tablet got up and went to attack me. It seems like I'm surrounded by full grace, and that I'm allowed to sit on this chair. I do want to say for just 1 second, to keep the infrastructure alive, it's not easy for somebody to sit on a chair for a long majority of time and then do nothing and expect everything to be in a working order and orderly fashion, to keep everything alive. Me personally, if anything, this is a luxury. This is a luxury to sit down for like 5 seconds or 30 seconds when you're trying to keep obviously, aspects of alive. That's a luxury. So the fact that I'm able to sit down and, obviously listen to my professors, because that's the first thing I should be doing, is a real luxury. I would never want to overlook this and then all of a sudden let them down, because it kind of doesn't make too much sense and I just don't get it. So, I like to kind of get the gist of it so I continue moving forward and obviously maintain my sovereignty, because this is what is true. Obviously maintaining my sovereignty means everything to me, because I would not like to think about anything else. I have liberation, and with that liberation, maybe I'm able to liberate another. That way they're able to grasp perspective that's unique that I never thought of before, because unfortunately there is such a thing as an education gap. Unfortunately, there are times where there is gaps in education. There's just some things that we don't know about. Unfortunately, there are times where we're just not able to think about how we're able to keep ourselves going in advance. So the fact that we have knowledge bestowed upon us, tools bestowed with us or upon us to be able to continue moving forward, gives me a lot of motivation to keep a driving force alive, to keep motivation alive, to do my absolute best alive. Obviously, to do my absolute best alive is my main goal, my main concern. That's kind of just like the gist of it. I like that. I can do my best alive. Seems that that's what my professors or my community wants the most. So I'm going to constantly do that, and I won't really stray from that path. I like the straight path, and I do my absolute best to maintain my structure on that so I can move forward. It means a lot to be able to do such a thing, because without it, I don't know what I'd do. And honestly, I'm just super happy that I'm able to continue forward, maintain, and keep my balance alive. So I think the beauty of the new school update, unfortunately this is a new school update, is that your chair and that your table don't start running off, and you forget how to sit, and you forget how to have obviously table to put, obviously you have a table, so how that goes. So even me, it's kind of just like it's very unique that this is a new school update. The fact that you get to appreciate that you get to sit, that you get to appreciate that fortunately there's a table that allows you to just put your items in place, and obviously you get to not really do too much to worry about. You just got to do your assignments, and obviously that's just the gist of it. So I'm super grateful that that's the new school update. I'm super grateful. This is possibly something to think about. That way you're able to appreciate more and have more gratitude in what goes on. It means a lot that way. I'm pretty sure my professors would want me to have this type of perspective. That way it's unique to be able to continue forward with. They probably like that I, am able to have a chair that doesn't run off, so I had to figure something else out. And they probably don't like that the technology that it takes to keep us constantly advancement doesn't grow legs and decide on its own thing. So I'm just super grateful that I'm able to have this little moment. So I appreciate, all these things, and just be super happy with the gratitude of today. It means a lot of, obviously, it means a lot of aspects to be able to keep this alive, and obviously be encouraging this, because obviously these aspects are, instilled within us to be able to continue forward. I believe that we carry the will and the structure of even the advancements of today, whether it's physical advancement, mental advancement, technological, we can say advancement. Just super grateful that I'm able to do my own thing and maintain structure and keep myself alive, because that's what I should do. And I think that's like the main goal of it. I think surviving has never changed. So I like the idea that I'm able to survive and get a degree. That's a bonus, and that's something I don't want to overlook. So I'm super happy that I'm able to be an example, obviously proud of the community. One day I'm able to reflect that I, worked really hard to get my degree, and that I'm able to have my own graduation date, and look back and be super happy and super just honestly enjoy to be able to know that it took, a lot, but I'm able to be the example of my community and be the change, obviously, in the reflection that I want to see in the world. So it's a beauty. Obviously, you first. How are you putting your education first? How are you putting your professors first? And how are you adapting with the times of, obviously, educational standard? I believe that if you hold a standard for yourself education-wise, you're allowing another to improve, but not being selfish. And by not wanting to not learn, by not withholding the ability to learn, you're allowing another person to gain some type of value that they can add to themselves, and then inevitably they're able to continue with that and allow themselves massive motivation and do their absolute best to keep moving forward as a driving force. And obviously they're able to reflect the constant standards that we need imposed upon society, but not impose ideas that may have its time to process with the community, because it takes a lot of time to process things with the community. They don't just take anything. And no, we're not set for just about anything. We always set for standard. We always set for goals. We always set for policy that allows us maintaining capital. And I'm super grateful that I'm able to do that, and constantly be a massive reflection on my community. Super proud. Honestly, me having my degree may motivate somebody else to want to get their degree. And I think the new school update is that being the change that you want to see in the world allows change to be a better person. I believe everybody has the ability to change. I believe everybody has the ability to learn something new. And the fact that tomorrow is promised means that is true. And I won't believe anything else. I carry that faith with me. I carry that will with me. Someone is promising me the ability to get my degree tomorrow, every day. So I'm just super grateful. So I won't slow down. There's just no time for it. I'm just super grateful that I'm able to do my absolute best. And it just means a lot, because one day my professors may look back and they'll be like, man, I don't remember these people, but they are really happy with all that I did in this life. And honestly, it means a lot to me to be able to give that back to them, to be able to show them that their time was not wasted, that their ability was not wasted, that obviously what they were doing didn't just mean anything like lack, or it didn't like depreciate. Obviously their assets keep developing and their knowledge keeps going on, and it doesn't slow down to anything. So I'm super glad I'm able to pass times test. Constantly moving forward is my constant example. Moving forward is my best thing to do. Constantly keep moving forward, constantly keep my structure alive, constantly do my absolute best to maintain my sovereignty, to do my absolute best to maintain structure, and do my absolute best to be the reflection on the community, to be the change that I want to see in the world. Super blessed. Honestly, I just want to do my absolute best. I want to do my maintaining. Now, You First podcast. How are you keeping your new school update alive? The fact that you have chairs that allow you to sit down, because unfortunately somebody somewhere else doesn't have that luxury. How are you appreciating the value that you have currently? And how are you allowing yourself to be the reflection that you want to see in the world? And how are you allowing your professors to see that putting you first was always worth every single second? Obviously, you know how it goes. It is Josiah, always maintaining structure, always doing my best. And I'm super grateful that today I was able to put you first. And honestly, it means a lot to me to know that eventually this may be able to move you forward in a direction that I've never seen possible before, so that in the end, you'll be more satisfied with every second that you gave rather than appreciating that you can get none. Obviously, this is Josiah, your first podcast, and it was an honor. Please always take care of yourself, and remember, put you first. Amen.